Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. Thank you for being here. In today's video, we're going to be building some sucker rod pipe fence, or I should say adding some sucker rod to an existing post and top rail pipe fence, as well as installing an automatic water system for these cattle. But before we could get the fence built, we had to tear out the old fence. That's already done. The next thing we did was some dirt work and some concrete work. This right here brings back some memories, boys, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who may not know, growing up, I did concrete work. My grandpa had his own concrete business, and that's what I did every summer from the time I was, I don't know, 5 or 8 years old. That same grandpa is the same one that told me and my cousins every Sunday to learn something every day, and that's why I say it at the end of every one of my videos. I'm a firm believer in learning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is good to see, I can't see you, but it's good to be with you this morning or today, whenever you're watching this. It's obviously morning, or I don't know about obviously. Can a sunset look like a sunrise? Anyway, it is morning. I'm fixing to start on this fence. We've got this concrete poured here at the house, and now I'm just going to put sucker rod in between all these. They had cable. The previous owner had cable like over here. And we tore it out, and we're going to go back with 3/4 inch sucker rod, or cold roll, whatever you want to call it, round stock. And I'm just going to put them essentially right here where all these hooks are at. I'm actually going to blow a hole here and on the other side. And I'm going to put them in between, just like we do with the like circle burner method. I don't think my circle burner, the circle burner that we carry there in the AROSS Welding store, I don't think it'll cut a 3/4 inch hole. I think it'll be close, actually. I think, because I need bigger than 3/4 to fit the 3/4. So I think the smallest it'll cut is, it might be 3/4. So anyway, I think I'm going to use my circle burner. I think, if it's going to work good. I'm going to go through here and buff, take a wire wheel or a torch maybe, and then a wire wheel. I'm going to buff all the paint off in between, you know, where I'm going to be cutting. And then I'm going to try that circle burner. I'm going to put a punch, use a punch, that way my circle burner has a place to ride in. Well, I'll show you that here in a little bit if you don't know what I'm talking about. And so yeah, that's the plan. So buff all this off, get measurements between each section. I'm going to go get my chop saw and set it on the ground here next to the trailer. Sucker rod's on the trailer. And I'm just going to cut 6 rails for each section. So we've got about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 foot, 70 linear foot of fence to do, sucker rod fence to do. Some of you might be thinking, why are you putting it in between? It would be faster to put it up against the post. That is very well an option. I've done that before, just put it up against, weld it on with 70-18. I do recommend 70-18. Just welding it to the post, or using a big enough fence clip to go around the sucker rod. Again, that would probably be faster than what I'm fixing to do. But I personally like the way it looks going in between the, first of all, if you do go up against your fence, I recommend everywhere that you end, instead of just ending it right here and having your sucker rod, you know, end right here, I recommend putting it, dead ending it, if you will, right here, and then welding it to your post. So that's just a cleaner way to do it. And another reason to put them in between is if you got livestock on both sides of your fence, which we will have here, cows on each side. Because I say all that because the rule of thumb for any fence, you know, barbed wire or anything else you build, is to put the wire, like hypothetically if this is a T-post and we put the wire on this side of the fence, you technically want your livestock on the side where the horizontal is, the wire. So in this case, if you got stuff on both sides and you only put your sucker rod here, and they're over there pushing up against the fence here, it could technically come off if you don't weld it with 7018 or whatever, even if 7018 breaks, which is way unlikely, but if it's done properly. But anyway, look at that sunrise. Y'all are getting to enjoy this sunrise as I talk. How incredible. Let's take a moment. Listen to the peaceful sunrise. The traffic, the birds, the air. I like to just take time every now and again and just enjoy the moment that I'm in, you know? It's very powerful. Anyway, I'll be doing more of that. So anyway, where was I? All that to say is that's one of the reasons, other than I like the way it looks being in between. It looks a lot better, but it also, since we have livestock on both sides, it's going to be more practical. All right, enough chatter, more splatter. Let's get started. Head to the house, or to the shop up here, and get my chop saw. What up, dudes? Hi, guys. How y'all doing this morning? Good to see ya. Have an incredible day. Hey, Karen, good morning. Good to see you this morning. Well, this method is proving to be not worth the time for this particular project. This old pipe has got something inside of it. It's not just rust. It's almost like, I don't know if it's concrete coated or what, but anyway, it just ain't cutting real good with the old circle burner. And so I tried a mag drill, but again, that's a lot of holes to drill. And if this was like a project where customer absolutely had to have them in between, then I would figure something out. I'd try to set up something that would just take a lot more time, obviously. So now what I'm doing is cutting off all the loops, the chain links he had on here, and I'm going to put the sucker rod right there on where those were at, but I'm still going to dead end them over here like I was talking about. I'm going to, I got this hole, so I'm going to poke it in there. I'm gonna grind all this off and then just poke it right there and just weld it. I'm just gonna butt it up against it and just weld it down here. So that's what I'm doing now. Cutting off all these chain links. So I'm currently building 4 jigs for this sucker rod pipe fence, if you will. The way I go about building a jig is I put up one section by hand or without a jig, and then I use that section to build my jig like you see here. I'm almost done with number 2. I've got 2 more here. This just makes things go a lot faster if you have a lot of one type of fence to build. If you're enjoying this video about pipe fence, I want to invite you to the pipe fence course. It's an online course we have there at our online trade school, AROSSWELDING.school, and we're actually offering 20% off until November 22nd of this year. To take advantage of the 20% off at checkout, just punch in the discount code PFC20, all caps, no spaces, and I believe this code only works for the one-time payment only, so you can't do the payment option, but for the one-time payment, you can get 20% off by using that discount code. So whether you're a landowner and you want to build your own pipe fence, or even other types of fence like barbed wire, because we do go over that as well in the course, or maybe you're maybe you offer mobile welding services already, but you want to add pipe fence to your services that you can offer your customers. Either way, this course will save you gobs of time learning how to build a good looking pipe fence, the proper steps to take. Head on over to AROSSWELDING.school and take advantage of the sale until November 22nd. Oh, looky here, we got some gravel. Hello. The other side is pretty well in. Now, I'm just marking this side, and I've got the ends cut off this sucker rod. Now I'm fixing to dead end them into this post here. But first, I gotta tack these jigs down. You know, one benefit I just thought of to using a torch on this old sucker rod, used sucker rod that's magnetized and been messed with a lot and used for drilling a lot, is I believe the heat helps it. You know, using a torch to cut these ends off versus a chop saw, the heat is actually good for it to kind of help with that magnetism and stuff. Alrighty tatty. Now that we got the water put in, we are putting in a post here. Oh yeah, ready for attack. Post in on that side, and then we'll fit sucker rod in between all the rest of it. You betcha, boys. Come on, baby, come on. Yet again, another satisfying project. Don't forget to check out our online trade school, AROSSWELDING.school, where you can find the pipe fence course and the quick rig course if you need a mobile welding rig to even get into building pipe fence. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. And remember, learn something every day.